Yo, what's up, guys? Everyone, today we'll be talking about the Washington Wizards and how they are one of the worst teams in the history of the NBA. Just watch them lose by 16 points to a Miami Heat team who has one of the worst offenses in all of basketball, without Andrew Wiggins, without Davion Mitchell, without Kel'el Ware, without three starters, and he still lose to that team by 16 points. Now, I will say the Wizards did not have Jordan Poole, but that was some of the most unserious hoops I've seen in a while. It's just bad. It's just straight up bad. Like, Wizards fan, I get why y'all watch the team because there's so much to look forward to, because you guys have the most minutes played by rookies in the entire league, because your starting five, a lot of those guys are rookies. You know, the Bub Carringtons, at points Keyshawn George, obviously you have Alex Sarr. Like, these guys do share a good amount of minutes together, but it's not pretty. It has not been pretty at all. I mean, again, this season is about the development of these players, and obviously, but it's bad. It's bad. The Wizards have almost a trifecta of the worst record in basketball, the worst net rating in basketball, the worst offensive rating in basketball, and they have the third worst defensive rating in basketball. They almost have, that's not even the trifecta. What even is the fourth? Bro, that's tough. The quartet, I guess, like, it is bad. The Wizards, like I said, have the worst offensive rating in basketball at 105.7. They have the worst they have the third worst defensive rating at 117, but they only behind the Jazz and the Pelicans. And they also have, like I mentioned, the worst net rating in basketball at negative 12.1, which is oh my dude, it's so bad that the second worst of the Pelicans with a negative 7.6 to 12.1. That is the gap in net rating. My God. And you can't obviously heavily blame this on Brian Keefe, but it's like, my brother in Christ, you have a record of 19-80 with the Washington Wizards, and I don't hear anybody talk about Brian Keefe at all. They just played a whole entire game. I searched him on Twitter. 0 tweets about the game about Brian Keefe. So literally nobody is talking about Brian Keefe. I am the first person apparently talking about Brian Keefe this whole entire game. Obviously, the people that are gonna have the post-game interviews are gonna talk to him, but on here, I mean, who's really gonna be talking about Brian Keefe? Let's be fucking for real. Definitely a lot for the Wizards to, do for the rest of the season. Look forward to development of certain guys, development of maybe trading some of these guys, development of their own head coach and Brian Keefe and the GM and the front office and everybody like that. It's a lot to really look at and try to maneuver through and see like who was really here for the long run or who was really just here for the now. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So at least the Wizards, they do have the best odds for the number one overall pick. That's getting a guy like a Cooper Flag. As looking over here on Tankathon, they have just, Jesus Christ, the record isn't even 200. It's .186, 11-48. They've lost 2 of their last 10. I don't know why this isn't updated. They have a 14% chance of having the first overall pick. Let me go ahead and load this up real quick. The game literally just finished as I started recording this video. Yeah, okay, now it is up there. Shout out to Tankathon for being on their things. So there we go now. 11-49, 183 winning percentage. They lost one game, obviously, to the Miami Heat. 2-8, top 4 pick, 52%. First overall pick, 14%. Now, like I mentioned, they do have something to look forward to, the Wizards, because they have a lot of young players getting an abundance of minutes. They traded Kyle Kuzma away, thankfully, because he did not want to help with the development of guys like Bilal Coulibaly, and he wanted the shot chuck, and he was like, oh, I'm here for myself, I'm not here to further develop these guys. Well, they sent your ass to Milwaukee for Chris Middleton, who I think is still a better player, hot take. He just cannot stay out there to save his life, but he's still phenomenal in the mid-range, pretty good overall as well, really good three-point shooter. So that's all I'm gonna say about that trade. But he did also bring in a guy like AJ Johnson, who does have potential, but he's in a G League, not really getting minutes. I mean, his first game, he had a nice dunk. Only 20 years old, 6'5". Good potential, just obviously trying to further develop. So, yeah. Now, looking at the Wizards, like I mentioned, they have a lot of younger players that need to get an abundance of minutes. Looking at, in particular, Bilal Koulibaly, who is a defensive menace, really good at the rim. Jordan Poole, who is shooting 37% from three this season, and he has like multiple 30 and 40 point games. He is a very, very good scorer, especially when he's at his best. He is a tough guard. If I'm not mistaken, Jordan Poole, he might have had either a 40, he might have had, I want to say he almost had like a 50 point game. What was Jordan Poole's career high? I mean, season high this season. Was it 42? He had 38 against the Kings, 42 against the Pacers not too long ago. I thought he had like a, it was close to 50. It was that 42 point game where he just looked great. Yeah, shout out to Jordan Poole. That I was thinking about that as well. The game that he had, kind of like a revenge game against the Warriors. I'll be trading away for Chris Paul, who know what that went. But Poole did have a down season last year, but now he is shooting really, really good from three. Couple signups as well. Why didn't the Kings? I mean, why didn't the Wizards trade away guys like, Malcolm Brogdon? Why is he still on the team? And he's injured, of course, in typical Malcolm Brogdon fashion. I do like how they got some veterans and Chris Middleton from the Bucks, the Kuzma trade, and Marcus Smart taking back a first round pick to get him. That was pretty good. I do believe that Marcus Smart still dealt with an abundance of injuries off for a extended period of time, and when he played, didn't look that good on the Grizzlies. It was always a clunky fit. I always thought the Grizzlies needed a small forward, and now they can put Jalen Wilson at the three, and Desmond Bane finally playing shooting guard with those T-Rex arms, and John Morant, aka Demetrius Morant, at the one. At the four, you obviously have Jaren Jackson Jr. up there for DPOY. He's been having a phenomenal two-way season. Then you have Zach Edey, a guy that I predicted would be the 9th overall pick to the Grizzlies out of Purdue, and he's having a pretty solid rookie season. Not getting an abundance of minutes, but he's been doing his thing, blocking shots, hitting threes unexpectedly. So shout out to Zach Edey. Jordan Poole, Bilal Koulibaly, obviously Alex Sarr. Those are the really main guys on this team right now for the Washington Wizards. And these are all guys. I mean, Bilal, he's not been where you want him to be offensively. I'll definitely say that. And then you have Jordan Poole, like I mentioned, is shooting really good from three. And then the other rookies, Bob Carrington, has been phenomenal in the mid-range. Pretty good from the three-point shot this season. And you have Keyshawn George, who I heard about. I'm not a big college basketball guy. I heard about him that he was a really terrific shooter at Miami, University of Miami for the Hurricanes with Jim Larranaga before he retired not too long ago. He's not really doing what he's supposed to be doing. Like, he's shooting 31% from three, and his main job is to shoot three. So that's definitely something I want to see him improve on. He's had his moments. That really good game he had against the Wizards. That he had against the Warriors, and Draymond Green gave him his credit. Definitely somebody I'm looking forward to in the future for this Washington Wizards team. Keyshawn George. You have the veterans, like I mentioned, Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart. Just looking down this roster, shout out to guys, that are just making the most out of their opportunities. Dustin Champagnie, the brother of Julian Champagnie from the Spurs. I saw him playing not long ago, and I forgot who he was. Maybe it was Julian that scored a bucket on him and stared him down. That was tough. Shout out to St. John's boys. As a proud Friars fan, nothing but love for Rick Pitino, who obviously now is coaching St. John's, one of the best teams in college basketball. Shout out to Unc Pitino. Yeah, it's just an extremely interesting tournament of players on the team. Just looking down at the team, you have Saddiq Bey, who's still coming back from that torn ACL. Brogdon, who they did not trade for whatever reason. Bob Carrington, the rookie, like what I saw from him. Justin Champagnie making the most of his opportunities. Bilal Koulibaly, defensive menace. Definitely want to see him improve offensively, but he's really good at attacking the rim. Keyshawn George, 6'8", supposed to be sniper out of Miami. I like him. Just need to see him get that consistency up. But again, he started coming off the bench. His role isn't always set in stone. Rashawn Holmes, he went on like a personal 6-0 run today, so he's like a good backup to third string big. He's making $12 million, so he's gonna be there for a while. So there's that. I mean, Lakers gonna use him over Alex Len, who generally is god awful. But shout out to Trey Jameson, aka legend. AJ Johnson, obviously you're trying to build him up in the G League right now with the Capital City Go. I only remember that name because I made a video like a couple years back about Kyrie Walker, if you know the Twitch troll. Kobe Jones, oh no, I'm blanking on this. Kobe Jones, oh, he's literally the Big East. Oh my god, I'm blanking on this. It's not Xavier, I think it was Xavier. I think Kobe Jones is from Xavier, right? Yeah, my fault. Kobe Jones, Kings legend. Corey Kispert, supposed to be the sniper of the team. He's shooting around like 36.5%, 37%. I'll say get up to 38%. That's just nitpicking though. Middleton, Cash Money Middleton. Jalen Wilson on this roster. Jordan Poole, like I mentioned. Alex Sarr, who had a good run a couple months back, but he's just been super inefficient. Obviously, the tools are there defensively. I definitely want to see him improve as a rebounder and overall as well. He's just a really raw prospect currently, so I definitely want to see the further improvement of his game. Marcus Smart, I like him as a 3-and-D guy, especially not having that big time role that he used to have on the Celtics, where at points he was like forcing up shots. And remember the game 6 against us in the ECF where he took that shot with Tatum and Brown, everybody in the team, and Derek White out of nowhere just gets the rebound because you have Caleb Moore in that power forward not using his brain cells, and Derek White, game winner. And I was literally my first time I ever depressed in my entire life. In this room, just cooked. Straight up, just wouldn't even eat. I was fried. Generally fried. Not like that. I don't smoke. Never smoked a day in my life. I got asthma. I can't do that. JT Thor, they have the Olympics demon from South Sudan, I always forget how to say it, and Tristan Vucevic, the fake Vucevic. So yeah, and then also let me go ahead and quickly just look through the contracts for the Wizards and see, because they have a lot of cap space. Obviously that dwindles down now because they took on Marcus Smart and also Chris Middleton, but they do, I believe, still have a lot of money to spend because a lot of these guys are young, on young contracts. They don't have a single player making the max. I mean, Poole does make a bag. You had that with Smart, who's like I believe Smart has like a year and a half left, and Middleton might have like a year and a half left. He just recently signed his contract. But if I'm not mistaken, they do have a lot of cap space. I don't know why. I'm trying to load up Spot Track right now. It's just not really showing me the contracts, but another day, another troll I see. So nice. All right, so we're finally here. I don't know why it took so long for that to load up. We're looking at the contracts right now, and is this even gonna tell me? Okay, yeah. So looking at the contracts for the Washington Wizards, Jordan Poole has a couple years left, ends in 2026. Middleton ends in 2025, so literally next season. Same with Marcus Smart. Kispert has a couple of years remaining. He just recently signed his second contract. Shout out to Corey Kispert. Sarr obviously is a rookie, 2027. Brogdon is a free agent after this season. They didn't even try to trade him. Nice job, Wizards. Bilal Coulibaly has 2 years left on his rookie contract. Rashawn Holmes, he has until next season as well. You also have Bob Carrington, obviously the rookie, 2027. Sadiq Bey, 2026, who is literally, not played a game with them yet. I literally, until I looked this up, did not remember he even existed. Corey Kispert, we went over that. AJ Johnson is making $14 million. That's in total. I was about to say, if AJ Johnson is making $14 million a year, my brother in Christ, W scam. But nope, that's in total for you because he was like a late first round pick. Keyshawn George, 2027. They still are paying Kendrick Nunn, who's cooking overseas apparently with Heat legend Omar Yurtseven. So shout out to bro. Justin Jefferson just signed a contract in 2027. Kobe Jones, 2026. Anthony Gill, 2025. Still keep forgetting Anthony Gill was in the league, and even when I see him at the end of the Wizards games checking in their garbage time minutes, still kind of forget. And Tristan Vucevic after this season, and Jalen Martin as well, I believe, formerly of the Timberwolves. So overall, in terms of AAV, I mean, nothing too crazy. I mean, Poole's making 32, 31. Brogdon's off the contract this season, making 22.5. Smart up until next year, 19. Then after that, it's just Kisper making 13, which is really good. Rashawn Holmes making 12. Sarr making 12, which was the second overall pick. Bilal was 7. Sadiq with 6. Bub making 5. Nunn still making 5. Kisper making 4. AJ making 3.6. And Keyshawn George making 3.5, as well as Justin Champagnie making 2.4, which is an absolute steal. Just signed a contract like literally yesterday, so I'm making this video with. Yeah, a lot of people have been signing like 4-year contracts on 2-way contract recently, just on steal of AAVs. Anthony Gill, the Trojans making 2.3, 2.1 for Colby Jones, and that is it. So yeah, definitely a lot of money in the 2025 and up free agency for the Washington Wizards. Hopefully for them and their fans, they can get somebody good, because they need something, because you can't just have a lineup just full of young players. Again, they got Smart and they got Middleton, but these guys are free agents in a couple of seasons, so just collect those first round picks. Hopefully they can keep developing these guys, because they have so many first round picks and this, that, and the third. Actually, before I'm gonna get off, I do want to check them on Fanspo and see how many picks they actually do, because I remember they did take on contracts for picks as well. So let me just quickly look at the Wizards, who are 11-48, my brother in Christ. Jesus Christ. So okay, so the Wizards pick right now is technically the Knicks, but it's top 10 protected, which means if the pick is top 10, then it will go to the Wizards. And obviously the Wizards are the worst team in basketball. They'll finish with easily a bottom 10, pick. So yes, the Wizards do have their own first round pick. Let me just quickly look on Fanspo. Go ahead and the videos they have there. I'll just go through first round picks. 2026 Phoenix swap rights. They have their 2027. They have their. They have so many second round picks. Jesus Christ. 2028 Phoenix, Brooklyn, Philly swap rights. They have their 2029. They have the first round pick via Boston, Milwaukee, or Portland. That's got to be like the Jrue Holiday, Rob Williams trade in 2029. 2030, they have the Golden State Warriors top 20 protected pick. I believe that was like in the Jordan Poole trade or something like that with Chris Paul. And 2030, they have Phoenix swap rights with a Bradley Beal trade. In 2031, they have their first round pick. And yeah, so they have a lot of picks to look forward to. Second round picks, a lot of cap space, a lot of guys that are on the roster now. You're trying to develop and see, are they a part of my roster? Are they trade bait? Are they here for the long run? Or are they just not going to make it to the second contracts? Because that's just the way the NBA works. So, but other than that, y'all, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub button. Make sure to subscribe to all of my channels. Links to those will always be in the description box down below. But other than that, it's your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.